Sarper, you've been very, transparent and open about your past and like, the whole sleeping with the 2,500 women.
Yeah.
I mean, how has it been adjusting being in a monogamous relationship now? I mean, how has it been for you?
If somebody told me 2 years ago that I can adapt to such a thing, I would laugh at him with my ass.
Really?
It's you are delusional, I would say. But it happened, and this is the proof of love. Because I didn't believe in love before, but it's reality. If you love someone and if that someone satisfies you out of the bed, in the bed, everywhere, I mean, you don't need to search anything else.
And Sarper changed a lot for this relationship. If he wouldn't have made all the changes that he did, we wouldn't be here right now. So
the question is, how many people would actually want to wait for these changes? That's the question that I ask. I mean, listen, in this situation, we're dealing with a woman, being patient enough or wanting to wait for a man to change. But the question that I would ask is that if the roles were reversed, would Sarper have been ready to wait? Would you have been in a position where he would have been willing to, at least give a chance to change? Let's ask about that, but let's not forget at the tail, Sarper didn't even want to hear about how many people she slept with. Generally, not because of the number, but just because he did not want to acknowledge the fact that she's ever slept with anybody else. Do you see what I'm saying? So if she had said that she slept with 2,000 plus people, come on now. So it's great for her, the fact that she has this, patience for Sarper, and she had this willingness to want to allow him to change or whatever the hell. But yeah, okay. Don't think that he would have done the same thing for you. Many men wouldn't have.
a lot of props to him for that.
I know, Shekinah. I mean, would you recommend other women, to give men a chance if they've had a past like
date with
Sarper's?
Sarper?
I mean, it worked out. It's worked
She
out for
doesn't.
you. I mean, would you recommend other women to, to give it a try,
It
give it a
depends.
chance?
It depends on where the man is in his bad boy lifestyle. If he's coming towards the end of it, he's getting sick of it, then yeah, maybe you can be the one that tames him. He was getting
Then you could be the one that tames him. That doesn't actually make sense. You just fully said that if he's coming to the end of his bad boy era or whatever, then you can be the one that tames him. You're not taming him. He's taming himself, right? But anyway, that is wild. Like I said before, if a woman had gone through a process, don't they call it like a whole phase or something like that? I mean, I don't know if that's just a UK thing or whatever, but if a woman was coming to the end of her, whole phase, and she's now slept with thousands of men. I mean, let's just say those two trending, disgusting women from the UK, Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips. Let's just say, they were finally coming to the end of whatever the hell they're doing right now. Why would any man want to take them up as an actual potential wife moving forward? we gotta flip the what does it call it? Flip the if the roles were reversed, let's just say that.
getting sick of that lifestyle, and I think that's the only reason why he is able to be in a relationship now. If it would have been 10 or 20 years ago, I don't think he would be.
I
in a relationship.
wouldn't want. I mean,
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So you're happy to have him now because he's ready to actually have a relationship. Right, okay. So let me just get this right. So if it's 10, 20 years ago, whatever, right? And you wanted him then, and you wanted to give him a chance then, but you knew he didn't want to but you knew he wasn't ready to actually commit to a woman. The question that I'm trying to ask here to Shekinah is that, would you have still tried to give him a chance even back 10, 20 years ago when you knew he wasn't ready? You see how all this is just a bunch of gibberish? Like, yo, whether it was 10, 20 years ago or now, it doesn't matter. If the man was a dog, the level of ridiculousness is crazy. Like, yo, she's just saying that she would at least still give him a chance back then as well. That's wild. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite, because I know flat out he wouldn't be, or not many men would be. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this now. Most of the time, the only time a man is ready to actually be with a woman that has had like countless amount of bodies behind her, to be honest with you, on a truthful level, is due to the fact that it's either one, that man has low self-esteem, or two, he feels like maybe that's someone who can control, you know what I mean? Or three, that man is just he's in a he cares more about intimacy than he cares about actual physical connection. He's like, well, at least she's gonna suck my, you know what I'm saying? At least she's gonna, you see what I'm saying? Okay. Like, honestly, if a man, usually for a man to be at that mindset, it means that there's something's happened to him. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there. You know, ladies, if you know you got bodies behind you, okay, tons of men you slept with, whatever that number could be, whatever, and your man knows about your numbers, let's not forget, everyone has a number that they feel like is just disgusting to them, right? But in this situation, let's just say that your man knows that you slept with over 2,000 people. If he wants to be with you, I'm telling you now, it's because either he gained something from you that isn't the right thing, okay, or he's mentally not developed, like something's happened to him and he hasn't healed. I'm just saying, whatever reason he's with you for is not for the right reason. But at the same time, though, on the flip side, many people, there are women out here that understand that maybe once I've had a certain body count, whatever, if men know about it, then maybe they're not gonna want me no more because I'm not gonna be valued as much, or blah 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 blah, based on what society says, right? On the flip side, there are women who actually will be with who will just be with any man because they just want someone to just accept their past and not have to deal with a headache. So they'll end up being with any dude, and then this is how you end up having these weird relationships where they're just not stable because both people are with each other because they feel like they haven't got a choice for whatever said reason. I'm just trying to articulate what I'm saying so it doesn't come across incorrectly. You know what I mean? I don't want it to come across as something that is not what I'm trying to say. Do you see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, let's just continue with this calamitous over madness because, boy, like I said before, if the roles are reversed in this conversation, you two would not be married. He'd still be in Turkey, you'd still be in LA getting more botched surgeries. Yeah.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
For any woman, if the man has a big body count, it's a good thing for the relationship because
Okay.
it means that nobody can tempt that boy.
He's tried it all.
What? That has got to be one of the most dumbest things I've heard in my life. If a guy has a high body count, then that should tell you that he has, it should tell you that there's a high possibility that one day he may get bored of you, and he may think, you know what, I want to go back to having more women again. Because you have to understand, for somebody to have that sex with that many people, it means that they obviously have an addiction to it. But also on top of that, actually, do you know what? Let me flip it. Let's just say, for example, the reason why he has such a high body count was because of his mental health. Because what people don't know is that sometimes when people are sexually active, it is due and it is connected to their mental health, right? Sometimes. And maybe this guy was trying to fill in the void this whole time by sleeping with a bunch of women, but he thought it was going to help him, get away from his own troubles. He thought this was going to be, something that's going to make him feel better. But do you know what I mean? Because obviously, when you have intimacy, there's a dopamine that you get. Obviously, the dopamine that men and women get can be similar, it can be different. It doesn't really matter. It depends on, of course, your current situation mentally. So, if his whole idea of sleeping around was due to his mental health, and now he's actually generally happy and Shekinah is actually filled in that void, to be fair, yeah, there is a possibility that he will never want to go back to sleeping around with XYZ because it's not worth his time anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? But if it's something he was doing because he generally just an addiction, he just loves being around different women and all that kind of stuff and loves that attention, then that means there's a chance of him doing it again. But the moral of the story is this: if anyone is going to want to be with anybody that has had a high body count, okay, I would personally say find out why. And most importantly, the person that has the high body count, they need to ask themselves, why did I put myself in this position? Okay, because once you know why, then you have a better chance of never wanting to, go and do it again. Do you see what I'm saying? Most importantly, you have a better chance of not wanting to be unloyal, basically. Do you see what I'm saying? If you want to stay loyal, you got to think about these things. But let's get into it.
I tried it all.
There's
I
nothing that
saw
can
it all.
tempt him.
Nobody can seduce me, tempt me. That's an advantage. On paper, it doesn't seem like that, but it is the advantage.
But let's talk about the fact that all these women that you had, they were in Turkey. Maybe they were in other countries in Europe, I'm not too sure, but most were in Turkey. You're now in America, where you got different flavors, my guy. You got the Latino. You got the Latinas. Okay? You've got some women from Africa. Some women that are actually Black Americans. Okay? You got some Caribbean women. You know what I'm saying? Okay? You got some Arabic women. Asian women. Okay? You got women from all around the world. You are now in a country that is multicultural. You got flavors around you. They've all got different spices. You know what I'm saying? So what happens if you come across a woman that brings a different type of flavor, different type of spice that you never experienced before? What are you gonna do? Just saying. Because I've been hearing there'll be a whole lot of different flavors in America. All right. So if he's one of those people that's got an ego where he has to sleep with every single flavor going in the world, America's a place where you can find a whole lot of them, my guy. So yeah, let's just say maybe they were better off staying in Turkey because he's already conquered that area. You know what I mean? America, he hasn't. And to be fair, he's already made a few little jokes here and there about, you know, being in America. I mean, I think in the next episode, he makes a joke about, oh, you know, all the American men are not going to be afraid that I'm here. Why are you saying that? You know, and then even here, he's even saying what they're going to want me here. Like, come on, the guy's really thinking about things with he still has that mindset of thinking about himself in that way. Do you see what I'm saying? Calamity.
In LA, like, how do you like it now? I mean, what do you like about LA?
I mean, you see the weather. Oh my God, the best weather in the world. I mean, I traveled a lot of countries for business, more than 20 countries. This is the best weather I
guarantee those countries are predominantly probably in Europe. Anyway,
have ever seen.
I know.
Yeah, can't complain about that.
Yeah. Do you miss Turkey at all? Are you homesick about anything? Things you miss? About
I miss my parents. You know. I mean, for Turkey, I mean, I have her here, so
Yeah.
no, I'm not searching any more things.
I know, Sarper, you've been
spoken like a smooth criminal. Well, anyway, I've said what I've said. Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope nobody took any offense. To definitely try to articulate my words the best way I could. You know what I mean? But as far as I'm concerned, just to summarize my whole point of everything that I said, let's keep it simple. The matter of the fact is, if the roles were reversed in this situation here, Sarper would not go near Shekinah in any shape or form. Also, on top of that, if you are somebody who has had a high body count, okay, I would highly recommend you understand why you put yourself in that position before you seek an actual relationship, because that will help you, you know, not want to quit that relationship, and it will help you to stay loyal in that relationship, because at least you understand what made you want to be so active. Because a matter of fact, if you get bored in your relationship, you might end up relapsing to how you used to be. This is what I'm saying, and that's something I know a lot of people wouldn't want to do, because they wouldn't want to hurt the person that they're with. So it's very good, important to obviously understand these things. Now, I'm not saying that just because somebody's got a high body count that person is less than. I'm not, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that person doesn't deserve to be in a relationship with somebody. But, you know, when you do have a high body count, obviously you are going to be more likely to be judged, you know, and you are more likely to be undervalued. Now, is it right to be undervalued based on your body count? I mean, listen, that's just up to the individuals how you want to obviously look at that. You know what I mean? Nobody can tell you how you want to see certain things, and that's just that, you know. But most importantly, in this situation here, if the roles were reversed, you kind of need to understand that this guy wouldn't be with you. Just understand that that's just the grand scheme of it. And it's not necessarily because he's a man and she's a woman. It's more due to the fact that he didn't even want to hear about the fact that she's even slept with somebody else beforehand. Do you see what I'm saying? He was more than happy to parade about how many people he slept with and have a book about it. But the second Shekinah was asked, he didn't want to know about point blank period. So she needs to understand that, yeah, if the roles are reversed, this man would not even bat an eyelid at you. So that's something just to food for thought. Some people may say that maybe that would be how it is due to gender, but that's not necessarily true, because there are plenty of men in this world that are in relationships with women who have high body count, and they don't care about it for whatever reason it could be. Whether the reason is a good reason, a bad reason, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I don't want anyone to be like, well, there's a double standard, because yes, they could be, but it's like times have changed, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's just whether or not whether it's a good reason or bad reason together, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, though, thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.